Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So move on to the next chapter of our curriculum, which is called Ism Mowsool. So it is a compound ism. It's made up of two parts. The first is the Ism Mowsool. The second is called the Silatun. It's a sentence that comes directly after the Ism Mowsool, and it only ends when there is no grammatical connection between a word and the next one. So in this chart is the Ism Mowsool chart. So if we go through it, we have the single, the dual and the plural. So starting from the top right, which is ma, and it means whatever, and then man, which means whoever, and then if we go down to the next one, the other words, so the singular version is allazi, which means the one who, and this is masculine, and then the dual is allazani, which means the two who, again masculine, and then the plural will be allazina, so those who, and then the feminine version of the single will be allati, which means the one who, and then the dual version will be allatani, which is the two who, again feminine, and then the plural would be allati, or the other version is allai, which means those who, and again this is for feminine. And we note that the dual forms, so the allazani, which is the masculine, and the allatani, which is the feminine, are fully flexible. So they have three different appearances for rafa, nasab and jar, but the rest, the single for masculine and feminine, which is allazi and allati, and the plural, which is allazina for the masculine and allati and allai for the feminine, they are non-flexible, meaning they look the same in rafa, in nasab and in jar status. So the uses of Ism Mowsool, so on a sentence level, they can act like a fi'l, a maf'ul, a masdar, a khabar, or an outside doer. On a fragment level, they can act like a sifa, which is a description word, a mudaf ilay, the ism of harf of nasab inna, a majroor, or an outside doer. So the a'idun is a pronoun which is connected to the silatun, which refers back to the Ism Mowsool. So the pronoun appears as an attached pronoun or an independent pronoun. It can be inside, or it can be something that what we say is implied. So it might not be there, but it's something that is implied. So the a'idun matches in number and gender to the Ism Mowsool. It is ignored when translating into English. So the attached a'idun required when Ism Mowsool and the subject of the silatun are discussing different things. So to explain what that means, there's an example here. So ra'aytu allazi daraba, which means I saw the one who hit. So the Ism Mowsool is allazi, which means the one, masculine, the one who. The silatun is the daraba, which is a past tense fi'l to mean he hit. So the Ism Mowsool allazi is talking about the person who hit, which is and the silatun daraba is also talking about the person who hit. So therefore the attached a'idun is not required, because the sentence is clear who it's referring to, because both the Ism Mowsool and the silatun mawsool is talking about the same person, So in the second example, ra'aytu allati darabaha, I saw the one who is feminine who he hit. So the Ism Mowsool is allati, which is a single and feminine version, which means the one who, and the silatun is daraba, is past tense fi'l, but it's singular and masculine, which means he hit. So the a'idun is the attached pronoun ha, which is attached to daraba in the example, and it refers to it's singular and feminine because the independent original pronoun is here, so it's single and feminine. So therefore, because the a'idun is there, we actually understand who the sentence is referring to. So the Ism Mowsool allati is talking about the woman who was hit, and the silatun daraba is talking about the man who hit her. So they're talking about two different things. So the Ism Mowsool is talking about a different person, and the silatun is talking about someone else. Therefore the attached a'idun, which is the ha, the attached pronoun on daraba, is required to show the Ism Mowsool is referring to the woman who was hit, and not the man who hit her. So meaning, when the Ism Mawsool and the Silatun is talking about two different people, then the A'idun is needed to make it clear, to make the sentence clear. So it shows that the Ism Mawsool is referring to the woman who was hit and not the man who hit her, because the A'idun will always match the Ism Mawsool. So if you look, the A'idun is ha, which is single feminine attached pronoun, and the Ism Mawsool is allati, which is single and feminine, so they match each other. So it makes it clear who the Ism Mawsool is referring to. So if the Ism Mawsool was referring to the man who hit her, it would be allazi, which is single and masculine, which would then match the fi'l daraba in number and gender. So that's what gives it away. That's why the attached a'idun is important. So when the fi'l is a sifa, which is a description word, so a proper ism is followed by an ism mawsool to make a fi'l which comes after the ism mawsool, a sifa. So just to say that again, so a proper ism is followed by an ism mawsool to make a fi'l which comes after the ism mawsool, a sifa. So the silatun, which acts as a sifa. So an example here to explain what that means: Ar-rajulu allazi yatahaddathu. So a man who is talking. Because remember, allazi means the one who, masculine. So ar-rajulu allazi yatahaddathu, a man who is talking. So ism mawsool is needed as the ism is proper. Ar-rajulu is proper because of the al, and that's the ism. The ism mawsool allazi makes the fi'l that comes after it, which is yahaddathu, a sifa, meaning a description. So just to make that clearer, when we have an ism which is proper, so in this example it's proper because the it's al-rajulu, because of the al it's proper. So in order to make the fi'l, which is yahaddathu, in order to make that a sifa of the ism, a description of the sifa, a description of the fi'l, yahaddathu, which is the fi'l, so we want to make that fi'l a sifa, a description of the ism al-rajulu. But because al-rajulu is proper, it's a proper ism, then we need a ism mawsool in between the two that matches. It needs to match the ism. So that's why it's al-rajulu allazi yahaddathu, a man who is talking. And a common ism, whereas a common ism does not need to be followed by an ism mawsool to make a fi'l which comes after the ism mawsool, a sifa. So if the ism, instead of al-rajulu, which is proper, if that was common, then we don't need the ism mawsool. It automatically, the fi'l that comes after a common ism automatically becomes a descriptive word. But just remember the al-rajulu allazi yatahaddathu, the ism mawsool allazi has to match the ism in gender. And so here example would be rajulun yatahaddathu, which is a man talking. So we don't need, the ism mawsool is not needed as the ism is common, because it's rajulun, it's not al-rajulu. Then it's followed by a fi'l which acts as a sifa, which acts as a description of the ism. So just the rule to remember is, if you have an ism that's common and it's followed by a fi'l, then this becomes like a mawsoof sifa type construction, meaning the ism, the fi'l becomes a sifa of the ism. But if the ism is proper and then it's followed by a fi'l, then in order for the fi'l to be a descriptive word of the ism, then you need an ism mawsool in between. And the ism mawsool should match in gender and number to the ism. So as per usually at the end of every chart, every section, we always advise to go through the vocabulary list chapter at the end of this book. Ideally at the end of every session this curriculum is studied, so that your Arabic grammar knowledge increases with your vocab knowledge, inshallah.